So the first thing that you will input is the username or your email address, as well as your password. Once done, you can just click the sign in button, and it will put you out on my applications. So basically, I'm just showing you a new way, or not actually a new way, but a new application, because we already submitted our provincial nominee application in this website. So you'll just have to click create new application, and it will ask you the program you are applying for, then it's permanent residency, and then it will choose you what kind of PR program and then you'll just have to put whatever program you're under in. So for us, it's PNP, or sorry, it's economic, and then under that, which is the category, it will be the provincial nominee program. You can put an application title or any application name for you, or customize your application title, and you can just click continue. Sometimes it allows you to continue without putting a name, but it seems like right now it's not allowing me, so I can just input an application name. So in here you will see your profile, so you'll just have to answer it accordingly. It's very straightforward. So your preferred language is English or whatever, your name, your given name, your date of birth, and your address or the mailing address. It will also ask you if the residential address is the same as your mailing address. So just click yes if it is, and click no if it's no. If you have spouses or any dependents with you in this application, you'll just have to click add dependent and input their details as well. So it's asking you if the dependent is accompanying you, your relationship to the dependent. For me, it's common law partner, the names, and their birthday as well. You'll just have to click save details once you're done inputting all those details, and click continue. It will give you this website or a preface. It will show you everything that needed in this PR application, all the forms, additional documents, supporting documents, fees, if you have other additional documents that will support your application. So now in order to start off, you'll just have to click on to the next or to the form that you want to complete. So for now, we will do the generic application form for Canada, which is IMM 008. It needs first off the application details, which are the details of the applicant itself, which is for me, it's the main applicant, which is my partner. And then it will ask you what kind of correspondence language you want to have, which is English or French. In your interview, if you are requesting an interpreter, and where do you plan on living in Canada, which is the province and territory, and save and continue once you selected which country or which province or city you'll be staying in. Next is the personal details. So you usually, once you fill out the first part, which are the names, in the first part, which is the registration or just getting into navigating to the main homepage, it will already put all the names and birthday and so on. So you don't have to edit it because you can't edit it anyway. So just input whatever you need to input. Like for example, if you have UCI number, you can input your UCI number here, and the sex, which is female or male, the eye color, and the height in centimeter. Again, as you can see, the birthday is also blacked out, which means you can't edit it anymore. But the place of birth and country of birth, you can input again. Of course, the country of citizenship, which is Philippines, and again, another country. The current country of residence, which is Canada, just input Canada, and your status. For us, she is a work permit or open work permit holder, so we put her status, the date that she received the work permit, which is under still the my student permit before, and we are in the process of renewing her just in case, and the date or the expiry date of the work permit itself. Then it will also ask you about the date and place of your last entry. We kind of went out, so we went to Dubai for a couple of weeks, so this is not the same as the date of entry or the first date of entry, and just input whatever or whenever you first your last entry. You don't have to do the first entry, it's supposed to be the last entry. If you have lived somewhere else for the past 5 years, input it here. If yes, just put the country and then your immigration status, and if no, click no. And then here again, the marital status, it's common law. The start date of your marital status, which is the year, date, and so on. It will also show you the name of the dependent, and if you had previous marital connection before. Now you moved on, which is going to be the contact information in your generic application form. So all of the correspondence will go to the address that you will be inputting, and your email addresses as well. Input all the details such as your email address and phone number. It will also ask you if you want to be contacted using the email address that you provided. For us, we said yes. And now it will ask you about your passport. So input all the passport details that you have, and for example, the passport number, the country of issue, issue date, expiry date. So just put everything there so that you can move on. And then click save and continue. If you have a national identity document, just click yes. If no, then no. Education or occupation details, just put whatever highest education level the principal applicant have, and the number of total years of education, and your current occupation and your intended occupation. For us, it's the same because my partner's current occupation is drafting technician, and it will be the same intended occupation that she will be taking in. Just click save and continue once you're done filling out. Next is the language detail. So it will ask you about your native language, which is Tagalog, or if you have other, you can put it there too, and what kind of if you can communicate with English or French, and if you take any test. Now the dependents, you'll just have to click the edit button of the application that for your dependent, and it will automatically show, as I've told you, it will automatically show the names of the dependent if you input it previously. So it will show you now the dependent details. It will ask you about the personal details as well. It's the same of what you put on for you as the principal applicant, like the UCI, physical characteristics, the sex, eye color, height, birth date, and so on and so forth. You'll have to do it all over again for your dependents. Same questions, just different details per dependent, of course. You'll just have to make sure that whatever you're inputting is correct, so that later on it won't be a problem for you, since they will not request any additional information and so on. Because it's quite for us, the VO is quite nitty-gritty with all of the details that you are providing, since this is already a PR application. As you can see, I missed a certain detail. That's why it doesn't click continue. So you'll just have to go back and see whichever part you missed. So I believe I missed the, what do you call this, nicknames. So I'll just click no because I don't have any nicknames, and just click continue. Again, it will ask you about the education of your dependents. What did they study, the number of years, the highest educational attainment, and so on and so forth. The current occupation as well, and the intended occupation again of your dependent. So if it's a student, then just put student as well if they're minors. And then the same with the native language, the language that you can communicate, and if you took any tests. Again, the passport details, the passport number, country of issue, issue date, and expiry date. Click continue. National identity document, and save continue. Now that all of your dependents are done, it will show you complete status, and you can now go back to the main page. Now that you are done with IMM 0008, we can proceed with IMM 5406, which is the additional family information. You can just click the edit button. It will show you the page itself, what the form is about, and it will also show you certain notes if you have any information that you need to understand, or you want to, like, a basic guide for you. So here you'll just have to click the first name, which is the main applicant, and click edit. It will ask you a section A, which is the full name again, the birthday, the country or territory of birth, which is Philippines. If you have other location, you can just put it in. Your marital status, which is common law, your email address again, and then the address below. You have to put your full address below. Now it will also ask you about your relationship, which is your spouse or common law. Same thing, the country of birth, which is Philippines. The marital status, which is again common law, or if you are married, just put married, and so on. The email address, and the same address that you provided. Your mother needs to be their full name, which is, for example, her mother's name is, and the birthday of the mother, and country again of birth, and the marital status, which is married, and the email address. Since her mother doesn't have any email address, I'll just put mine as well, or her technically, and the address of the parent. So and same goes with your father. Same details, the marital status again, and the email address. And same with the address of the mother, since they're living together. Continue. If you have child, just click or input all their details as well, but since we don't have any child, so I will put not applicable. I will show you what is under the child. Here it is. It's the same details as you provided before. And then now it will ask you about the siblings. So for the siblings, just put your relationship with your siblings. So you can say sister or brother. My partner has a brother in the Philippines, so I'll just put his name, his date of birth, country again. It's all the same details previously, but since it's just different person that you're putting in. And the address as well, but since he's living with my parents or her parents, I will put the address same. And save and continue. If you have other additional family members, just click add and then just fill out the same details over again. It's gonna be the same details and the other dependents, so just put on whatever you have with the family itself. So with the applicant, relationship of the applicant, relationship of the spouse, father, mother, and so on, and children, and same as the siblings. All the same details that you have to input. That you filled out all the information, just complete and return to application. It will show you here that you completed all the details. It will appear a green check if you're done with that form itself. So yeah, now we move on to the next form, which is the 15669 Schedule A background declaration. You can just click edit. For this form, actually, for me, I kind of started with the form itself, the real form. I didn't know that you will be able to fill out the form in the application portal. So I was able to just copy whatever I input in that form into the portal itself, because it's quite long. As you can see, it's two different applications as well, one for the dependent and one for the main or principal applicant. Again, you'll just have to click edit per the name. So you can see here, I just want to take note that it is the same form that you will fill out again for your dependent according to their own details, okay? So that we don't have to go again and show you whatever app like details it is in there, because it's all the same. So here, schedule a background, you will just have to click everything, upload everything, write everything. As you can see here, it will ask you about your personal details, which is the family name, the given name, and if you have they will ask you your full name written in your language. But since in Philippines we don't have specific native language script, or we do have but it doesn't show in the computer, I will just write the name itself again. The birthday is not edited or not editable. Your father's personal details, it will ask you again, which is already asked previously, but since it is needed in this form, you have to input it again. And then the date of birth itself, if they're deceased, you put it here, the town and the city. The town and the city of birth, he was born in Manila, and the country itself, which is Philippines again. Now it will ask your mother. So it's carefully, as you can see in the mother, it was asking family name during birth. So when she's not married yet, so maiden name. Just input everything. And the town of birth again. And the country. And save and continue. It will ask you certain questionnaires. So, have you been convicted? Of course, if it's no, then no. Have you been charged with criminal offense? Yes, if yes. No, if no. Previous refugee claims? If yes, yes. If no, no. And have you been refused refugee status, an immigrant permanent resident visa, or application to provincial nominee, or any visitor visa, or any in Canada or in any country? Just click yes or no. Have you or your family? But since the partner was refused to Japanese visa, I included it in the portal. Have you been refused admission in Canada or another country? No. Genocide? No. Advocate of political religious objective? No. Associated with groups that used or advocates arms and struggles or violence? Definitely no. Member of organization that was engaged in criminal activity? No. Detained? No. Had previous disease? No. And if you said any yes, you can just put the number of that yes, which is 4, and click write what is it. Okay, and then just save and continue. Your education, about you have to input everything there. So the number of years you took the school itself. So 6, 4, and 3. And then the education itself. That is post-secondary. She didn't do any post-secondary, so I'll just keep it empty and save and continue. Personal history. So it will ask you about where you live, everything. You have to make sure that there are no gaps in your periods, because if you do, they will return it to you and you will have to submit it again via web form. So read it carefully. This says that the personal history for the past 10 years since your 18th birthday, if it was less than 10 years ago. Start with the most recent information, which is the one that you are doing right now. So we are here in Canada from 2023 January until now. You have to put the date of when you will submit this, or you submit you, or when you when you will submit this, because it might be on a different day or a different month when you apply for it. So 2024-02, let's say drafting technician, Canada, Mississauga and Canada, and then write the name of the employer, and then add another if you have more, and it will just keep on continuing just from the date from and to the activity. If you are employed or unemployed, you have to include it as well, and if you are which town and which country, and if it's an employer, write their name and company name and so on, and save and continue. Next is if you are a member and you are associated with different with an organization. If you are not, just click on none on the first input field, which is this one, and save. Again, for government position, if you held any government position, just include everything. It will ask you from which country and the department you're working on, but since she's not, then I will put none as well, and save. Military service, she did not do that, so I will put the same as none, and save. The addresses, so this is where you will put your past 10 years address, where you live from which day to which day again, and start off with the first which is the recent one that you had, and then so on and so forth. Just click on add another if you have so many addresses that you don't, don't leave any gap on the years and date, because it's going to be a problem for you later on, and you will have to submit a web form for that. And click on save and continue. So you're done with the declaration form for yourself. You can do it again to your partner or to your dependent, which is going to be the same details again over and over. But you'll have to be very patient when it comes to this, and you have to be meticulous, because you don't want to have an issue with regards to resubmitting again a new document. And complete and return to application. Again, the green dot will show you. Again, as I've told you, just make sure that whatever you're putting into are correct, and there's no gap, and you'll be fine. So now we will focus on the PDF forms. We have 2 forms that we need to fill out in the PDF format. So you'll just have to click download on each, and then you can fill out the form. So we'll go first with IMM0008 Schedule 4. I already downloaded it, so we can just see what's inside the form itself. So again, you will write your name, your given name, and your birthday. You will also put if which province nominated you. So for us, it's Ontario. So I'll just put Ontario, and the category of the nomination. So in the nomination certificate, you will definitely find it there, and you will see which category you need to put. But from what I remember, it's employer offer, foreign worker stream. So now it will also ask you about your funds in Canadian dollars. So how much do you have that can support your PR application with you and your family? Basically, from what I've read before, you have to make sure that you also have a fund for the application itself. So whatever amount is there, you have to input it in your funds. And your signature, which is your name, you'll just have to write your full name, and your date date of filling out of this one. So it's 2024 02 028, and that's it. Just click save, and then it will just save automatically, and then that's the one that you will have to upload. And once uploaded, you can now continue with 5690, which is this one. It's the document checklist for the PR PNC class, or provincial nominee class, and it's literally just a checklist of what you need as applicant. So you need this for sure, and you did this as well. You also have additional document. The one that we filled out in the portal, it's the same thing. You will have to click this one, check and additional information. And if you don't have, or if you use our representative, just click yes or this tab, or if not, just don't do anything. Your travel documents, these are required in applying for the PR application, which are the passport details. Usually it includes the stamps that you have in your passport, so preferably the whole copy of your passport, all of the pages to make sure. And if you already have it, just click this. And then other document checklist, this is specifically for you, because the main applicant is required to have proof of proficiency for PR application. So your nomination certificate, if you received it already, and if you have it, your CELPIP or IELTS, and your civil status. For us, we submitted statutory declaration of common lawship, so that's what we uploaded, which is IMM 5409. And I also included some photos of us, like our land titles and so on, that has both of our names, and our driving license here in Canada, because it's include our address here. So if you already compiled those documents, you can just click this as well. If you have children and you already completed everything, all of their documents as well, click this as well. If not, you don't have to. Police clearance and police certificates are also required. If you stayed more than 6 months in a certain country, you are required to get police clearance in that country. For example, for us, we stayed in UAE for 8 years, so we took a police clearance certificate there as well. So, and as well as in the Philippines, of course. So I just click this if you had it. And then the photo requirements, usually the photo that you will get from the photo studio, they will put a stamp at the back of the photo itself that it was taken in their place, the date and the location. That is required as well. You have to scan out those pictures back and forth and include it in the application. And of course, the fee that you will pay, I believe it's 1,300 plus per person. So once you pay that as well, just click this, and then now just print it or save it, and then you will have to upload it in the system as well. So now that we have all of it, we can upload it as well. Now that you are done with the forms, it will automatically put it into a green check mark over here. It will ask you about the additional forms. Now that you have completed all the forms in the PR application, it's time now to upload all of your forms that was in the checklist itself. So here you can see what are the forms needed. So the additional application form that I submitted, including in this one, are the statutory declaration of common law, this one, and then I uploaded our form in there. And if you are married, I think you will have to do it in additional supporting documents, all of your certificates and stuff. So this one here below is the supporting documents for provincial nominee program. All of the scoring factors that was approved in the OYNP, you have to upload it here, as well as the travel documents or passport upload in here. And then as you can see here, It says on, it shows you what to use as a file name or a label in your document so that it will be easier for them to upload it. Actually, this will be for both of you, you and your partner, or you and your dependents. Especially, for example, for the travel documents and stuff, you can upload 2 different documents in there. So just make sure that you are following the correct way of labeling the documents itself. Okay, so the passport, the confirmation of nomination, which is the certificate of nomination, your CELPIP result, your police clearance in all of the countries you stayed in, your photo of the immigration photo that you got from the studio, and your birth certificates for both of you or for all of your dependents as well. So additional supporting documents will be if you have for example, if you have more than 5 let's say 4 police clearances, then you can upload the others in here, and you can just name it accordingly to the example above. So what I uploaded here is actually our what do you call this, proof of funds. We have submitted the proof of funds. We also submitted the proof of common lawship, proof of medical exam. We included our medical exam report, and then we also included our CV, resume, just in case they needed it. And then we also included proof of status, which is our the work permits, student permits that we have. And we also include proof of residence, that we took it from our landlord, or if you're renting a space, they definitely will give you like a tenancy contract or something. You can include it here. All of the things that you think can help your application, you add it here in additional supporting documents. And of course, fee. Actually, you'll just have to click this link over here, and then it will bring you to the another website, which is this one. It will tell you how to pay your fees and how much will it cost. And if I'm not mistaken, it's around 1,300 plus per applicant, so it will vary how many you guys are in the application itself. So once you receive the receipt and that payment, you just upload the receipt here, and then you have to do the consent and declaration as well. It's just here, if it will ask you certain things, like if you are consenting IRCC to contact you in the future, and then if you are also okay in sharing your information accordingly for evaluation purposes, you just click yes, and then you will have to sign in your full name here, and it will automatically you can click sorry, I didn't say yes, complete and return to application. After that, at the bottom end, it will tell you submit your application in here. But since I didn't do the payment here because we already submitted our application, I cannot click the submit button. And then after that, it will just show you at the end the main page of your application, which is this one. So yeah, there it is, the PR application for Provincial Nominee Program. And I hope that this video helped you guys to navigate in filling out the forms for permanent residency. And I hope all of you guys will get a positive response from IRCC as well. And let's keep on fighting.